Kanye.
Nice.
Kanye West, some of his social media posts that have been causing quite a stir online.
Quite a stir is an understatement.
Yeah, so we're going to take a deep dive today into what exactly went down.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically on Tuesday, March 18th, looking at his online activity, especially his comments directed at JYZ, Beyoncé, and others in the music world, and try to figure out with you what's really important to take away from this whole thing.
That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah, absolutely. This article, you kind of live out this timeline of his online, presence, and it's intense. And I think it's really valuable to kind of go through those key moments and really look at the statements he made to fully understand what's going on.
Okay, so let's jump right into what seems to be the very beginning of this whole thing, and probably the most jaw-dropping part, Kanye's post about JYZ and Beyoncé's twins.
Oh, wow.
According to the article, he went on X, formerly Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to quote this directly because it's something else.
Okay.
He wrote, "Wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyoncé's younger kids? They're retarded. No." Literally, and this is why artificial insemination is a blessing. Having retarded children is a choice. It's just wow, attacking kids like that.
Yeah, it's hard to even process reading, directed at children.
Yeah.
The language is obviously very offensive, and I think it's important to note that the word he uses carries, a long history of harm and stigma.
Yeah.
Especially when used to describe people with disabilities.
Of course.
And to use that kind of language towards children is just particularly egregious.
Yeah, and it's just so strange what happens right after these posts.
Okay.
The article says that he actually deleted that first tweet. And the reason he gave is so bizarre. He's quoted as saying, and again, this is a direct quote, "I need everyone to know that I took the post about Jay-Z and Beyoncé's family down and Jerry Lorenzo's family down because there was a possibility of my Twitter being canceled because I'm a good person. I took it down like Down syndrome. Get it? Am I right? Fuck the world. Real talk. Fuck everybody."
Whoa.
And the article includes this tweet from Pop Bass
Oh, all right.
that has screenshots. So we know these posts really happened. It's he's trying to justify it by saying he's a good person.
Yeah.
But then he uses this horrible analogy.
Yeah, this is really interesting because it seems like there's this simultaneous awareness of the potential consequences.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking about his account getting canceled.
Right.
But then right alongside that, there's this defiant, aggressive attitude.
Yeah.
It's he knows he might have crossed a line, but instead of, taking a step back, he just keeps going with the offensive language and this kind of general anger at everyone.
Totally. And trying to equate taking down a tweet with Down syndrome is just so out of touch.
Right. It just shows this really disturbing lack of understanding and empathy.
Yeah. And it didn't end there with deleting that one tweet.
Oh, no.
He actually repeated those same awful comments about Jay-Z and Beyoncé's kids.
He did.
He's quoted as saying, "At least Jay-Z and Beyoncé get to raise their retarded-ass kids."
Oh, wow.
So clearly deleting the first tweet didn't mean he was actually rethinking what he said.
It's just, it really shows the level of anger or, whatever he's feeling toward them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a heat-of-the-moment comment that he regrets later. It seems like he really meant it and felt the need to say it again.
And then the article points out that he shifts his focus to something totally different. His own kids and his custody battles.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a total non sequitur, but he brings up his own family and connects it back to him wearing a Trump hat. He's quoted as saying, "Ain't no celebrity ever said nothing to come to my aid when it came to these white women taking my kids, because they was mad I was wearing Trump hat. Fuck Jay-Z and his whole family, especially his shooters." So he's basically saying his political views cost him support during his legal problems.
Okay.
And he's directing all that anger at Jay-Z and his family.
It's really revealing how he's mixing these personal struggles with his political choices
Yeah.
and then using that to justify attacking others.
Right. And the way he talks about shooters is really disturbing.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like he feels abandoned by people because of his political views, and he's expressing that hurt in a very explosive way.
Right.
But to go after Jay-Z's children because of that is just a really disturbing and illogical jump.
Yeah. And then there's this line, "And now that you think Jay-Z pussy ass made me take it down, I got to double down."
Oh, wow.
It's he's trying so hard to prove he wasn't pressured into deleting that first tweet. He's almost proud of continuing to attack them.
It's his real sense of defiance.
Yeah.
And this need to appear strong and in control, even though his words are just so out of control.
And then in the middle of all this, he randomly brings up who signed him at the beginning of his career.
Really?
Yeah, it comes out of nowhere. He says, the only thing that I was mad about in the last few hours was taking that Jay-Z and Beyoncé tweet down, Dame Dash signed me BTW, not Jay-Z. It seems like he's trying to downplay Jay-Z's role in his success.
Yeah, it's interesting how within this whole emotionally charged rant, he brings that up.
Yeah.
It feels like a very deliberate attempt to kind of discredit Jay-Z's influence.
Right.
And maybe even rewrite their shared history.
Right.
Whether or not it's true, it's clearly fueled by his anger and the need to lash out.
And then to wrap up his comments about Jay-Z and Beyoncé, he says, concerning the Jay-Z and Beyoncé tweet, Jega said I would regret it. No, I regret taking it down. My Twitter is a one-way conversion. It doesn't sound like he's sorry at all.
No, not at all. He's framing his social media as this like unfiltered platform where he can say whatever he wants without consequences.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to care about dialogue or how his words affect other people.
And the article says that as of yesterday, JYZ and Beyoncé hadn't responded publicly.
Yeah. Which is understandable considering how personal and hurtful those attacks were.
The article then goes on to say that these comments were just part of a whole bunch of posts Kanye made targeting other big names in hip-hop.
Really?
Yeah. He also went after Kendrick Lamar, Playboy Cardi Tyler, the creator Drake Future.
Wow, so this wasn't an isolated incident.
No, it seems like he was on a roll just criticizing everyone.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what's behind this kind of widespread negativity.
So let's talk about some of these other targets just to get an idea of what he was saying.
Great.
He went after Kendrick Lamar's music, saying it's overrated.
Oh, wow.
And that the music industry is using Kendrick as a pawn against Drake.
Interesting.
He even said Kendrick didn't deserve to perform at the Super Bowl.
Those are some pretty harsh statements.
Yeah. He's basically saying Kendrick isn't as talented or successful as people think.
Yeah, it's like he's creating this story where he's the only one who really understands what's going on.
Right.
And everyone else is being manipulated.
Then there's Drake, who he's had beef with for years.
Right. Their feud is pretty famous.
In these recent posts, Kanye apparently mocked Drake's fashion sense.
Okay.
And used a really derogatory term against him.
Yeah.
It just feels like another chapter in their ongoing conflict.
Yeah, it seems like he's bringing up old drama and resorting to insults.
And the fact that he used that offensive term, again, it's just another example of the kind of language he's been using.
That's definitely a pattern.
And then there's Future. Kanye said Future is washed after listening to Playboy Cardi's new album.
Oh, wow.
It might seem like a milder diss compared to the others, but it still adds to the overall negativity.
Yeah, it fits into the larger picture of him criticizing everyone.
The article also mentions that Kanye dissed Jim Jones a little while back, so it's not like this is completely new behavior for him. But these attacks on Jay-Z and Beyoncé's family seem way more intense and personal.
Yeah, they definitely took it to a whole new level.
So as you've heard, Kanye was pretty active on social media, and a lot of what he said was just really offensive and hurtful. He wasn't just critiquing music, he was attacking people's families and using really harmful language.
It's true. The intensity of these comments and the fact that they were also public is really concerning.
Yeah.
It makes you think about the dynamics in the music industry.
Yeah.
You know, it's competitive and there are lots of complicated relationships.
Yeah.
And this situation shows how easily those tensions can erupt and play out in a very public and damaging way.
Especially with social media where everything is so instant and unfiltered.
Exactly.
It's scary to think about what this all means when you have public figures using their platform to behave this way.
It really makes you question the role of social media and how we deal with this kind of behavior from celebrities.
It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Of course.
We'll see you next time.